What if the way you set up your Zoom meeting is actually making you look unprepared before you even show up on camera? Zoom has over 20 hidden settings you need to check before you hit schedule, and I'm going to walk you through the ones that really matter. Hi, I'm Betsy, your Zoom expert, and if you're new to Zoom or if you've ever second-guessed whether your meeting is set up the right way, this beginner's guide is for you. Whether you're scheduling a one-to-one or group event, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps to send that Zoom invite. And don't forget to grab my free Zoom Mastery checklist in the descriptions below. It's the same one I give to my Virtual Business Collective members to help them show up with confidence every time. Let's get to it. When you want to schedule a Zoom meeting, there are a few ways you can do it, and one of them is from here at the Zoom web portal located at zoom.us. Go ahead and sign in to your Zoom account, and then on the left-hand side, click Meetings. A screen appears with the meetings that you've already scheduled, and if you don't have any, then the first thing you need to do is schedule. So go ahead and do that by clicking the blue button on the right-hand side. That opens up the screen that allows you to put in the name of the meeting, the date and time, and all of these settings. Many of them are those 20 hidden settings that I told you about. And so to start off, we're going to give this meeting a name. And if you've got the name of your event coming up either in the next month or two, you can do that now. Go ahead and pause this video as you find the title, type it in as I'm showing here. So in this case, I'm going to use a title such as Meeting with Members. You can use Zoom to meet with your new members. You can schedule new member orientations. You can meet with members weekly, monthly, even daily. And you would schedule these inside your Zoom account so that you get a unique link to share with them. So follow along as we go through these settings. And the next one up is the date and time. So to select the date for your Zoom event, you're going to click in the spot where it says when. There's a little calendar icon there. And when you click there, you get a drop down. You're going to advance to the date that you need. And those little arrows beside the month are going to let you advance to the month, day, and year that you need. And so find the month. I'm going to schedule ahead. Let's say I wanted an event scheduled for a certain date. I'm going to click that date. And then next to that is the opportunity to select the time that the event begins. And you're going to do that by clicking on the hour and then verify that you have the AM or PM selected appropriately. Now below there is also the duration. And the duration is set by anywhere between a whole hour or part of the hour. You can see you have hours and then also minutes. Now, note here that the duration of your Zoom meeting is here as an estimate so that you can see what you've got scheduled out each day and each week and each month. But don't worry, if your Zoom meetings are ending earlier or go over, it doesn't matter. Zoom lets you have the length of time given the fact that you have a paid Zoom account. And if you want to know more about the differences between a free Zoom account and a paid Zoom account, we've got a video for that. Check it out here. Just note that if you have scheduled more than one Zoom meeting at the same time and they conflict, you won't be able to run those meetings at the same time with one Zoom account and one user. So bear in mind that your Zoom meetings for just you on your one account need to be separated apart enough so that they don't overlap. As you scroll the screen, the next section asks for certain information like the time zone, and you want the time zone to represent where you are located. When you go ahead and share this link through a calendar app, which I'm going to get to, it will do the conversion for you. If you share the link with the information in let's say, the text inside an email, it won't do the conversion for you on the time zone. So it's very important that you schedule this Zoom meeting according to where you're going to be, because that's the time that you start. And then anyone that's attending will be doing the conversion themselves, either manually or through a calendar app. Let's say when you share it through Google Calendar, it will do the time zone conversion for you. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Underneath there, you see an option that says recurring meeting. And this is going to be very helpful when you are running a meeting that repeats. And so if you want your members, your audience, your participants, your potential clients, the ones out there that are going to be attending, let's say, a series that you're giving, if you want to provide them the same link each time, then you're going to indicate that it's recurring. And what Zoom will do is it will ask you, what's the frequency that you're meeting? And it'll give you just one link to give them. And so they click the link. If you're holding the meeting every week for 7 weeks, then they get the same link every time. And this is how you do it. You click where it says recurring, and then that opens up some options below. You can see where you can pick the recurrence frequency. So in my example, if you were meeting weekly, you indicate that you're going to meet every week, and then it says it's going to occur on every Tuesday because the date we gave it in scheduling our event falls on a Tuesday. And so Zoom already has indicated that you're going to meet weekly on Tuesdays. And then finally, it asks you the end date. So if you wanted to say we're going to meet 7 times, then you would click that option. If you know you're ending on a specific date, then you're going to click where it says bye. And if you're going to say, hey, this is just open-ended, I could be meeting weekly with my members every week for the next year, like I do with my collective. We meet every Monday. So in that case, I have indicated that there's no end time. And then when the time comes that maybe you would change it, you can do that. The next options below there where it says invitees, enter usernames or email addresses. All right, so in this case, when you are inviting people inside a Zoom meeting, you are not going to place their email addresses unless you have already connected with them. So bear in mind that if you are scheduling a meeting for the first time, you're going to skip the section where it says invitees. However, if you are working in a corporation where your Zoom application is used by everyone in the company and the company owns the Zoom account, then this would apply to you. You see, a Zoom account has users. And if the people you are inviting are already part of that corporate Zoom account, their names would come up. But if you're working as a sole proprietor and you're inviting other people who may or may not have Zoom accounts, then you're going to skip this option. The next option here is whether or not you want to have a meeting with registration. Now, Zoom meetings will generate a link for you. And that's what we're going to get at the end of this example. In this case, we're not going to do registration, but keep in mind, this is a fabulous option because if you want to be able to ask some questions, get them to register, and then be notified about who's interested, your registration option will give you a link to that registration form rather than to the live meeting. If registration is something that you know you want with your audience, comment below and put the word register, and I'll send you some information about how to set that up and how to brand it appropriately. The next option has to do with your template, and selecting a template is based on whether you've scheduled a meeting before. You can see here in the list of choices, I have scheduled some other meetings. And if the meeting I'm about to schedule is so similar in the options I want, I could just go there and say, you know what, make this meeting just like that one, and all the settings would be in place. But for now, we're going to skip this option and we'll come back to that in another video. Zoom lets you attach some assets as well. Like if you're using a whiteboard inside the meeting, you could indicate at this point when you're scheduling that you want to use that whiteboard. A whiteboard inside Zoom is like having a smart board or a dry erase board or even a flip chart. You can actually use this in your meeting to engage with your audience. If you have that whiteboard to be used for the meeting, you can pick it here, and then it'll be all ready for you when you start your meeting. The next option is for Zoom Docs. Yes, Zoom has a document area all set up for you, which allows you to provide text that might not be in your presentation. So many of us are using presentation applications such as PowerPoint or Canva. And if you want some text that you're going to be using, reading, adding to, that's not part of your presentation, this Zoom doc can be added separately using this feature. And that brings us to the next two sections, the security section and the AI companion section. In here, your security is made up of one of two things, your passcode and the waiting room. You see an option there to require authentication to join. That's only a feature if you want to make sure people have to have a Zoom account prior to attending your event and that they have to have signed in. That might apply to you, but to many, it doesn't. So if you want, you have the option to leave it unchecked. The other two options, the passcode and the waiting room, you must use at least one or both. Zoom makes it so that you have to secure your meeting either by making people put in a passcode, or you can actually attach it to your meeting link, or you have to have a waiting room. And the waiting room is a place where people gather before they actually join your meeting. So you could check that they're actually on your list and they're supposed to be there. And if you want to know more about how to set up that waiting room, you can check our video on branding your waiting room here. This next section talks about Zoom's smart assistant called AI Companion. AI is interwoven into so many applications, and Zoom is included in that list. The AI Companion runs in the background while your meeting is going on. And if you want the AI Companion to begin when the meeting starts, you're going to check this checkbox here. So you can tell it that you want to automatically start with the meeting questions. And these are questions that appear in the sidebar for your participants so they can find out if their name was mentioned or if they need to be caught up. And the AI Companion uses a transcript. And while the transcript is running, it composes these meeting summaries for you, which are available at the end of the meeting. If you want, you can indicate here with the box underneath where it says start meeting questions, and you can indicate which participants get the AI Companion meeting questions available to them. So if you wanted all the participants, no matter when they join, you would click the link that says all participants and invitees. But if you wanted the transcription and the meeting questions only to people from when they join the meeting, then you would click here. So that brings us to this last section of your meeting settings. Now, at the bottom next to options, you see where it says show. Go ahead and click there. There are more hidden settings revealed. And in this lower section, you're indicating some other details about your meeting, such as whether you are going to be using a meeting template, whether you're going to be using what's called continuous meeting chat. And continuous meeting chat is a feature that allows you to take the chat that goes on during the live meeting and continue it after the live meeting ends. And this is extremely valuable when you want to continue a conversation with people who were in the hour-long meeting but needed to go on to something in their schedule. And so when you need to discuss with a group of people, you can set up this meeting chat and people will be able to access it in something called Team Chat, which is available in both the mobile app of Zoom Workplace as well as their desktop app. The next section is indicating what is your video and audio going to look like when the meeting starts. So if you want participants to be able to have their video on when they join, then click that feature here. You can also click it for yourself as the host. This allows you to have less instructions when the meeting starts. So if you're working with, let's say, a more not so tech savvy audience, and you want them to be able to have their video on when the meeting starts and not have to find that button, this would benefit you. On the flip side, if you wanted to give them more privacy and have them enter the meeting with their video off, then you would choose that option. The next option below for audio is when your meeting invitation is set up, you can indicate whether you have just the telephone audio and or the computer audio. Now, here's the difference. Telephone audio is when someone is actually picking up the phone and dialing a phone number so that they only attend your meeting from audio and they can't see you at all. Computer audio is when they are attending from either their laptop, desktop computer, or the mobile app. And that's what you're going to use most of the time. If you know that you need to provide phone numbers to people to actually dial, then you're going to choose telephone and computer audio. And then this last section, part of your hidden settings, involves how you want to set it up so that participants can join in an experience that you set up for them. For instance, you can actually have them join at any time. Now, this works only if you don't have a waiting room turned on. So if you're setting up, let's say, a co-working session, and you say to people, you know what, I'm going to open up my Zoom room for you between these hours, they can just click the link and join anytime. You don't even have to be there. And this is as long as your waiting room is off. If, however, you wanted to change it from they could join, but only a certain number of minutes before, then you can choose that option from the menu. The next option for Q&A may not be on your screen. Actually, if any of these options are not on your screen, please go to your settings located in the left sidebar. And if you are the admin of the account, please go down to the admin section under account management, because if some of these settings are not here, you need to turn them on first. They must be enabled. But the Q&A feature is reserved for people who have a business account or higher. And what it does is it allows you to have a feature similar to a chat, but people can put in their questions. And then as the host, you can indicate whether it will be answered live, or you can just answer them in a text answer. Mute participants upon entry, one of my favorite settings. It allows you to have people enter your meeting and their microphone is automatically muted. Now, this is one of my favorite settings because when people enter a meeting after it's begun and you are in your presentation, if their microphone is on and they don't realize it, you're going to hear all of their background noise as they get settled inside your meeting room. They don't mean for it to be causing background noise, but it could be the movement of a chair, it could be the barking of a pet, it could be even their fan or landscaper outside, or it could be their phones ringing. And so the best way to have a seamless meeting is to have them muted upon entry. And then at the time that you open it up for Q&A, then you can indicate to them that they can unmute at that time. Now, the next two options have to do with some extra features. Breakout rooms is a feature that you can use to break out your participants into multiple meeting rooms, and you can actually reassign them. And if all of this is new to you, or if you're ready to stop winging it and start running polished, profitable Zoom sessions, even if you're not a tech expert, then it's time to get Zoom Confidence, my impactful training program. It'll change the way you show up virtually for business. Click the link in the description to save your spot. The last few settings on the screen are ones that you won't use every time. So when you do take further Zoom training with me, you'll see that depending on your situation, your strategy will change. You'll either use more of these settings or less of these settings depending on your scenario. For instance, the one that says request permission to unmute participants, that's going to be important for you if you're running an event where you want people to be muted, maybe during your presentation, and then unmuted when you are running a Q&A session. So here's the thing. Zoom doesn't let you unmute people without their permission. It's a privacy thing. You know, if you are working in your home office and you're muted and there's something going on maybe in the background, Zoom says, the host cannot unmute you without your permission. So as the host, if you know that you want to ask people, can I have your permission ahead of time, then check this checkbox. When the people enter your meeting, your event, they will be prompted with a message and you get to okay that. And then every time the host needs to unmute you, they can do so. The next feature that says automatically record is really helpful. So if you think that you want all of your meetings recorded and you think maybe there's a possibility that you won't remember to hit record, then when you start the meeting, if you check here, the recording will start automatically for you. And that leaves us with enabling focus mode. Focus mode is extremely helpful when you want to run your Zoom meeting really like a webinar where everybody's off video and everybody is muted and you are the presenter. So as the presenter, you can see everyone, but they can't see each other. They can see you and they can see the co-hosts, but they can't see each other. So it's called focus mode because it lets them focus so that they're not looking at everybody's video and seeing where they are and what they're doing. And finally, approve or block entry. If you needed to block entry, this setting would be for you. If not, just leave it blank. And then finally, you see alternative hosts. Now, here's the thing. In Zoom, there is something called a co-host. That is someone that helps you during the meeting and you get to give them more opportunity to use features that they wouldn't normally see as a participant. A co-host is not an alternative host. A co-host is assigned once the meeting starts. An alternative host is someone that is on your same Zoom account as an additional user. And that allows you to set up the meeting and they can run the meeting for you. So if you have that scenario, this one's for you. But for most of you who are solopreneurs and you have your own Zoom account, you might think that this is for the co-host, but it is not. And you have to have a paid account to run a meeting with an alternative host or a co-host. And then all you do from here is click save. And the meeting finishes up with a confirmation screen telling you, here's the title you picked, here's the date and time you picked, and here is that link. And in the next section, we're going to talk about what to do with this link and how to share it so that your participants will know when to show up and how to get there. So this is your meeting confirmation screen. Once you have filled out all of the settings you want for your meeting and you click save, this is the page that shows you what you picked. You have your title, your date, and your time, and then you see that link there, the long link that is unique to this meeting. It was generated automatically. There is a symbol, a little double square symbol at the end there where you can just copy the link and then put that where your participants need to find it. I always say, the magic behind attending a really great Zoom experience is clicking the link if you can find it. Because how many times do we send out links only to find that the people we've sent them to have misplaced them? So this page may be a place you need to come back to when someone asks you to resend them the link. Notice that if you click meetings on the left sidebar, like that, because you're going to go other places in your Zoom account as you follow along with these YouTube videos, or you come to some of my training, Zoom Confidence training, Zoom Business Academy training, or be a part of my virtual business collective membership. You will find that there are other places in your Zoom account located there on the left sidebar that you'll want to explore. So when it's time to come back to your meetings and you click there on the left side, you get a listing of the meetings that have already been scheduled. And you'll notice that they are listed by date. So when you scroll down and you scroll to the date of the meeting in question, even before it started, you can make some changes. You can also view the confirmation screen. To do that, you're going to hover over the title, and then you'll see those three buttons appear. You're going to click edit. Because our meeting was a recurring meeting, it asks you whether you want to edit the entire series or just one occurrence. And we're going to edit the entire series. Once you click that button, it brings you back into where we were before. And any of these settings can be changed as long as the meeting has not yet started. So once you make a change and then you click save at the bottom, you're brought right back to the meeting confirmation page. It's on this page that you're going to click either the little copy button to copy just the link, or if you wanted some text to put in an email, then click at the bottom where you see it says copy invitation. And then Zoom has given you some text that spells out what the meeting is called, when it's scheduled for, and then the link is embedded in there. This one is a little more in depth because it includes verbiage about the 7 occurrences because it's a recurring meeting. It also would indicate that the person you're sending it to could download it for their calendar system. And then there's also a link for them to follow up on those meeting notes I mentioned with AI Companion. And when you click on Copy Meeting Invitation, all you have to do now is switch over to your email system, and open up a new email and just paste it right in there. You can also take this text and put it in a post on your social media. Something like Facebook, you can put it in the caption, you can put it in an event, a Facebook event. But keep in mind that once you paste it there, you're going to want to take the link, the one that starts with HTTPS, right there. That unique link is what you want to paste in certain places in social media, because not everywhere you can put a live link. And that's what this is, a unique URL. You'll want to put this in the comments. That's another way of sharing it on social media. You can put it in your bio inside Instagram. You can put it inside a post in LinkedIn. And if you have enough followers, you can put it inside of your profile on TikTok. So all of these places is where your participants can click the link. Now, bear in mind, your social media most likely is a public forum. And this meeting in particular did not have registration attached to it. So anyone that gets this link can join. And especially if it's a paid event, you want to attach this to one of your business carts, let's say some platforms like Thrivecart or Samcart or even Kajabi. And once a person pays, then you can put this invitation in the email confirmation so that only the people who paid can attend. And that's another way to share the link. Across the top of the meeting confirmation page are 4 tabs. We have been on the details tab, but next to that is a tab that says polls and quizzes. And when you click there, you'll get a list of all the polls, the Zoom polls. These are all built in that you have created inside your account. When you click on survey, you'll see all of the surveys that you have attached to this meeting. This is a way to pre-assess their knowledge before they join the meeting or get them to fill out a survey upon leaving your meeting. If you would like more information about surveys and polls and quizzes, which are all built into Zoom, just put the word survey in the comments and I'll send you some information in my free guide. And then finally, the last tab is live streaming. So Zoom lets you live stream to a much larger audience. You can hold up to 100 people in your Zoom account, whether it's free or paid. It's just the amount of time that it allows you. But you can grow exponentially in the size of your audience by live streaming to your Facebook page or to your YouTube channel. You can even live stream to your Facebook group. So think about it. If you had thousands of members in your Facebook group community, you can live stream from your Zoom meeting into your group, and then thousands of people will see your seminar. If, however, you're trying to grow your audience, you can live stream out to your YouTube channel or your Facebook business page, which are both public, and then exponentially your exposure grows. Now, back on the meeting confirmation page, there are 3 items here for adding it to your calendar. If you use Google Calendar, we're going to click there. But if you were a user of Outlook or Yahoo Calendar, you would click on the corresponding link. It will confirm for you whatever Google account you're currently logged into. You have to confirm, or you have to say use a different account. And then it will open up a calendar event inside your Google account. It has filled in the title. It has chosen the correct date. And then it even put the link inside the field inside the Google Calendar event. Now, the beauty of this is that when you share this calendar event, when it shows up on the other end for whomever you send it to, it will convert the time zone. Google does that. It will showcase your event in their time zone. And so it does the conversion for you. The way you share it from Google Calendar is by clicking on the right-hand side where it says Add Guests. Type in the email address of the person you'd like to send it to. If they're one of your contacts, they'll show up. If they're not, just type the exact email address and you'll be able to share this with them. If there's a long list of guests, then what you can do is you can share this calendar event inside an email that you compose, especially if you're sharing this with your entire database, and then click Save. Now, because this is a Zoom meeting that reoccurs, Google will prompt you to create a recurring series inside your Google Calendar. And so confirm that. If you've added the person's email address, Google will then prompt you to send an email to those people who haven't been invited. And then you can see that the calendar event has been saved and your unique Zoom link is a part of the event. All it takes for the people who get your link sent to them is all they have to do is click on the event in their calendar and they can join your Zoom meeting. And there you go. You've now learned how to schedule a Zoom meeting and share the link confidently. Super simple, right? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss an update of our next video. They come out every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.